You're watching 7 Action News, always taking action for you.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:29 is your time. I want to kick off this half hour again with, you know what, the best news of all, the sunshine.
The weather.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. I think that's the breaking news of today. I'm just saying.
It really, I would not argue with you one bit. Right before we went to break, we saw that picture of the Detroit River. There's so many watercraft in the water there.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, people are already out enjoying the weather, and you know, can't
Get
blame
an early
them.
start.
My thought exactly. It's sunshiny. It's going to be pleasant, and the water conditions are superb for being out there. Let's start with the sunshine and look at the view from Ann Arbor. Bright, sunny skies. Sun's been up for a little over an hour and a half. The warming is underway. You can't even find a cloud in the sky, even if you're looking. If you are heading out on that water that I mentioned, there's not much in the way of wave action. Less than 2-foot waves all day long. Sure, there could be certainly some ripples, especially by afternoon. We'll get a little bit more of a breeze, east-southeast at 5 to 10 knots. But mariners, this is good stuff. Sunshine. The water temp is chilly. It's 45, but yesterday it was 43. And that's as measured, by the way, in the Detroit River at Belle Isle. Now, clouds are not happening anywhere until you get all the way into the western upper peninsula, where the clouds have moved in and there's a brisk southerly wind. Look what it's doing to the temperature. It's 61 in Ironwood right now. They have a southerly wind. By far, that's some of the warmest air anywhere in the state, as we've got mostly 30s and 40s. It is 52 in Grand Rapids, and we're going to warm very fast here soon. As a matter of fact, in the next hour, on average, it's 50. Sunshine, cool still, yes, that's comfortably cool, but the warming does increase. The light winds will persist for another hour or two, and then we'll start to kick into more of an east wind, sometimes northeast, sometimes southeast, but we get to 76 degrees today. I will talk about travel weather for you, have a whole lot more coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Developing right now, at least 77 people have been killed following an earthquake in Ecuador. The 7.08 magnitude quake struck near the coast just hours ago, rattling Ecuador's largest city, Guayaquil. 570 people have been injured. 10,000 armed forces have been sent in to aid people in the coastal area. Those who live near the coast are now rushing inland because of concerns that tsunami could follow. We'll keep you updated with any new details as they come into our newsroom.
And right now, the search continues for those who are still missing in southern Japan following back-to-back earthquakes. Both of those quakes hit in the last few days, leaving 41 people dead and more than 1,000 others hurt. Right now, as many as 180,000 people are seeking emergency shelter and food. Japanese media says the destruction left about 400,000 households without running water.
And a solemn event is being remembered on the campus of Virginia Tech this weekend. It was on April 16th of 2007 that a senior at the school went on a shooting rampage. The gunman killed 32 people and wounded 17 others in 2 separate attacks before turning his weapon on himself. The attack is the deadliest shooting incident by a single gunman in U.S. history and one of the deadliest by a single gunman worldwide.
United Airline workers have approved a new set of contracts after 4 months of negotiations. The contracts will increase pay by about 30% and raise pension benefits over the next 5 years. The news affects about 30,000 employees, including airport workers and security officers. The airline says it's still in talks with flight attendants and technicians.
And the latest in the race for the White House. The Democratic candidates are back on the campaign trail in New York today, trying to get votes ahead of Tuesday's primary contest. Now, that means Senator Bernie Sanders is back home from Rome, where he visited with Pope Francis. No pictures were released from the meeting, which took place at the Vatican guest house, where Pope Francis lives. The Pope has not endorsed Sanders, but Sanders certainly endorsed him. Meanwhile, frontrunner Hillary Clinton spent the day campaigning in Los Angeles yesterday.
And on the Republican side, Ted Cruz won all 14 delegates up for grabs in Wyoming yesterday. Under the state's electoral rules, 12 more delegates were awarded at county meetings last month. Cruz won most of those as well. So with today's victory, Cruz clinched at least 23 of Wyoming's 29 delegates. Cruz still trails Donald Trump by 185 delegates, but both candidates do have a long way to go to earn the 1,237 delegates needed to clinch the Republican nomination, meaning a contested convention is likely.
And time now, 8:33 on this Sunday morning. Time to head back outside over to English Gardens for a few more gardening tips. This time, you'll learn how to green up your lawn.
7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson joins us live again from Royal Oak. All right, Jen, good morning.
Good morning. You know, they say the way you start something is a really good indicator of how something will finish or how it lasts throughout the middle. And that's very, very true when it comes to your lawn or flowers. And so you have some great tips on things that we need to be doing right now to have the best possibility of success throughout the summer.
Right. You know, the first thing is to clean up the garden, your flower beds, empty your pots from the old soil, rake the lawn so you can go to the next step.
Now, see, this is kind of an odd tip, I think. You think of raking in the fall, but you don't normally think of raking in the spring. So why do we need to rake?
Basically, you want to loosen things up, remove the dead thatch, and allow the nutrients, like the fertilizers, will apply water and air to get into the soil.
Okay, so it's basically like exfoliating your skin so the moisture can seep in. This is like a spa treatment for your lawn?
Kind of like that, I guess.
All right, okay, so that's step one. Step two.
Well, you want to fertilize the lawn. So, and right now is the time to apply crabgrass preventer, something like the step one. These are great programs that are laid out for you to go right through the season, a four-step program. But right now is the crabgrass preventer.
Okay. Now, should we add a 1.5 test your soil?
Yes, I think so. Test first. For pH and for nutrients.
And this is pretty important because your soil can be very, very different depending on where you live, depending on the history of the soil, kind of what it's been through, and that can really impact how grass or plants grow.
Exactly. So then we apply our nutrients, our pH adjusters like lime or soil acidifier, and then fertilizers, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Nitrogen makes the plants grow green and leafy. Phosphorus will give you more flowers and fruits, and then the potash makes the roots strong.
Okay, so quickly here, number 3 is?
Basically, you want to plant your plants in the ground.
Plant! That's number 3. Okay, number 4.
Mulch and weed preventer. Actually, I think I combined two together, but
that's okay.
Put down your mulch and weed preventer.
All right, fantastic. Now, you're doing something really cool this week. Thursday, you have basically a workshop at all 6 locations where there's going to be different stations and people can come and explore different techniques or different plants. Tell me about that, when it is.
Get your garden growing 5 p.m. on Thursday.
Okay, and that's at all 6 locations, and you can meet Rick potentially, maybe, if you pick the right one, or you can meet one of the other many experts here at English Gardens that can help you maybe break out of that gardening rut if you're an experienced gardener or if you're just getting started, how to start things right so you have the best possibility for success. I'm going to toss things back to you, Anu and Jen. Time to get gardening.
Yes. Oh, yes, without a doubt. Jen, Rick, you have definitely inspired me. I'm hitting the store today.
I know, me too.
Getting in that soil.
Just looks so beautiful. I love flowers.
Got to. All right, it is 8:36 right now. Still ahead this morning. You can learn more about Motown today. We're going to tell you about a new exhibit soon to be on display at the Detroit Historical Museum.
Plus, the deadline for your taxes is closing in, and before you decide to file that extension, we'll tell you why it may be a bad idea. You're watching 7 Action News this Sunday morning.